Now, let's keep it real, fellas. We've heard you can manifest your dream life, manifest your dream reality, all that shit. You've heard that everywhere, especially in like the spiritual space. Everyone's talking about manifestation. Everyone's talking about spawning your dream life. We all know that that's marketed towards women for a specific reason, because women can actually manifest by just thinking. Because if you're a woman and you're sexy, you can manifest $1 billion by having a billionaire take you up. But as a man, you can't do that. You can't just manifest yourself on a yacht. You can't manifest yourself $1 million, $1 billion, because no one's just gonna take you in, because you don't have any inherent value until you create it. You have to create the value. And for men like myself, and probably men like you who have achieved some things in life, you've made some money, you've achieved pretty much everything that you wanted to do up until this point. Obviously, there's a lot more that's coming for you. You get pissed off when you hear this whole manifestation shit. And that's what I get pissed off when I hear it. Not because I don't believe manifestation in and of itself is not real, but the way that it's real for men is completely different. There is masculine manifestation, and that comes from raw action. Because if you just sit there and you think all day, or let's say you sit there and you pray all day and you do absolutely nothing, you are not going to get the desired result that you want. I don't give a fuck what you think. There's not a chance in the world you're going to get that. Because I used to be like that. I used to have my little affirmations, I have my 369 journal, I'm writing down all of my goals, etc. But I'm not taking any action to actually make it a reality. I'm not. I'm looking at astrology, I'm looking at all this shit. It's giving me like false hope. That's all this shit is for men, is false hope. This whole manifestation shit. The fluffy part of it is all hope, but it is real. And the way that you make it real, this is a secret, fellas, that I've learned from my experience. You have to look at yourself as an alchemist. I think I made a video about that, about men being alchemists, right? I believe I was in my car back in Utah. I was talking about this. And when I say men are alchemists, look at what an alchemist does. An alchemist turns something that, maybe iron or something specific into gold. He doesn't just sit there, look at it, and think. Turn to gold, turn to gold, turn to gold, turn to gold. And he opens his eyes and that shit's gold. That's what this whole manifestation bullshit wave is throwing at you, right? But he imagines what he wants, which is gold, and he uses that as a vision, as a map to be able to make it a reality. Right? I don't say meditation doesn't work. Meditation does work, but not in the way that you think. Meditation is not going to be the thing that's going to manifest you $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 a month. Meditation is not going to help you spawn a beautiful woman that you want, that's going to improve the quality of your life. Manifestation and meditation is not going to give you the freedom that you want in life. It's raw action. But what does meditation help with? It helps with clarity. Because now you can sit in your thoughts, you can unwind your thoughts, and you can have a clear vision of what it is that you want. You can understand who you truly are because you're sitting in silence with yourself. You can start to line up that golden thread, right? Golden thread is very important. That's the thing that I've made, right? I'm starting to make my own concepts if you haven't noticed. Gold pill, golden thread. Golden thread is essentially the congruency in your life that allows for you to take the specific actions for specific things that work for you in your life. Exactly what it is that you want. Everything is congruent. Your body, your mind, your actions, everything is congruent with what it is that you want. By the way, the most magnetic people on the planet have mastered the golden thread. They have a golden thread running through them. Everything is aligned, which is what makes them shine so bright when they go anywhere, because they are literally their most authentic selves. They know who they truly are. They've done all of this shit to understand what it is that they want. And they put in the work, they put in the action, which then gives them the confidence, because confidence comes from competency. Competency comes from radical action. So the more that you commit these actions and you start to see results, even if it's not tomorrow, your results could be in a year, your results could be tomorrow, your results could be in a month. It doesn't matter. But the more that you put in the actions, the more that you see the micro results, the more confident you'll get, the more magnetic you'll be. People who aren't magnetic, they genuinely just have not done shit in life. They haven't experienced life. They haven't really done the things that they truly want to do. They're not living life like they're building a myth for themselves. And some of you might say, well, Martel, how could you think of yourself as somebody building a myth? Who do you think you are? I think I'm one of the greatest men on the planet, and you should also believe that you're one of the greatest men on the planet, regardless of where you're at right now. Because it's all about what's in here. It's all about your internal belief in yourself. Doesn't matter what the fuck anybody else thinks. We're all a speck on this planet, in this universe. We're all gonna die at a certain point. The best mental model to have is that you're the man, you're somebody who can make shit happen, and that's going to drive you to take the actions to be able to make shit happen. That's the truth. People might call it narcissism. I think narcissism is very useful, right? Because it allows for you to act in a way that you know that things are going to work. You're going to move with certainty. You're going to actually go out and try shit. You're not going to be a fucking coward. But going back to the manifestation thing, it's not about sitting there meditating. It's not about affirmations. I've had people hit me up and say, bro, what are some affirmations I can say? You want to know some affirmations? Get to work, 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 get to work. Say that shit 1 billion times and start doing it. You know what's funny? Even if you said that shit 1 billion times, if you didn't actually get to work, you wouldn't actually see any results. But again, all these guys are going to push, all these women also are going to push this whole manifestation thing. I manifested my dream reality. I manifested $1 million. Yes, you manifested $1 million because you sold the idea of manifestation as the thing that was going to get people to get $1 million. And you made $1 million off of selling that manifestation dream. The same as self-improvement, right? Self-improvement is basically the male version of fucking manifestation. You do enough cold showers, you read enough books, you do enough of all of the shit that doesn't actually get you the money that you want, the woman that you want, the life that you want. You do all of these rituals. And what are you left with? Nothing. What is the person who's selling this idea to you getting? Everything. He's getting all of the money. Saying self-improvement may be $10,000 a month. Really? I think self-improvement content creation made you $10,000 a month. Yes. But don't sell that as a way that people can actually escape their current reality that they're in. No, it's radical action. It's understanding who you are. It's understanding what is true to you. What specific results do you want? Not what society says that you want, but what results do you want? Writing your own storyline, saying exactly what it is that you want your life to be. Acting that out every single day. People don't talk about this shit, building your own life story. It's very, very important. And I talk a lot. I sent an email the other day to the guys on my email list about this, like build your own life story. And even the guys that I work with one-on-one, I have them build out their own story and I teach them how to live it out every single day. And it makes massive transformations in their life. And they start to see that story actually live out day to day. Again, because men are alchemists. We're not fucking little guys who sit there like genie manifestors and shit that just sit there and spawn money. No. I mean, you can do that if you sell that shit as a business model. You can. You want to make money through manifesting? Sell manifesting as a way to make money. It's the truth. I'm not here to bullshit you. But the way you do it is through radical action. And you can meditate. You can write down your vision. You can shift your identity, and all of those things are essentially to give you clarity and direction and a mission to be able to go after so that you can take the actions every single day and be clear on why you're taking those actions so you don't fall off, and then you can start to see results in your fucking life. That is masculine manifestation, if you want to use that word. That's what it is. So I understand when men watch those videos and they're like, this is fucking bullshit. Snake oil salesman, to a certain extent. And a lot of it is mental, right? Like I do think life is a mind game. Life is a mental war. I think if you can master your mind, you can definitely, and the only reason why you master your mind is so that you can have clarity and you can take the action steps within that clarity to get the results that you want. Men only get things in life when everything that they're doing is tangible. We don't win off of intangibles, fellas. We don't. Barely. If you think communication is intangible, no, it's very tangible. It's something you can work on day in and day out. You can make videos that you don't even post. You just rewatch it and you get better and you get better. That is a tangible skill set. Charisma is a tangible skill set. People think that you're born with that shit. Bro, I was not born with charisma. I aligned the golden thread in my life to the point where I was living my life authentically me in the most masculine way that I possibly can. And that granted me the tangible skill of charisma. That's what it is. Attraction is a skill. Everyone's attracted to somebody who has certainty, somebody who's living in full alignment in their life. A man who's living in full alignment will always attract everything that he wants because he's not fake. But I'm here to tell you, you can manifest anything that you want if you put in the fucking work. Nobody's going to tell you this. Everyone's going to tell you, like, bro, get in your journal. Journaling is cool, right? I journal as well. I do it for clarity of thought, vision, direction, mission, so that I have something to aim at. Men, you have to understand, you need some shit to aim at. That's why meditation is good. That's why these planning things are good. That's why analyzing your thoughts and putting positive thoughts are very important. Because that's what's going to help you aim and fire. That's what's going to show you where you need to fire. But don't think that sitting there like a fucking monk and imagining $1 million, imagining all of this shit's going to get you there. It's going to help because it's going to give you clarity. It's going to show you some shit. It's going to give you some energy. But if you can't back that shit up with action, then there's nothing that's going to fucking work. The reason why someone can say like, bro, I literally saw myself in this position. They might be like millionaires. You hear them say that shit. I saw myself here like 10 years ago. I visualized, yes. Because they had a certainty inside that they were going to get it. And they knew that the work that they were going to put in was going to grant them that request that they had. To God, to the universe, I don't give a fuck who you call it. Allah, I don't care. However you call it. However you call the supreme creator, right? That's what it takes. A lot of you guys, you want these fucking results, but you put in zero work. You run away from work. You run away from risk. You run away from the things that will actually get you there because you don't know who you are. Be honest, you don't know what it is that you want because you're not even living your own life. You're living a life that was scripted by somebody else. Somebody else wrote your story, the media, the education system, your parents, your siblings, your friends, all these people influenced you to live a life that you don't even fucking like. Even if you're making money, you just feel empty as fuck. And now you're trying to do this spirituality manifestation shit, and you're wondering why this shit doesn't work. You don't have clarity. You're not an alchemist in your own life. You're not creating. You're fucking dreaming. Wake up. You're not a woman. You cannot sit there and meditate with a fucking with a latte or whatever the fuck these people do in a little room with a what is it, the little sound dome boards that they just mix and shit. I fucking hate that shit, bro. I used to think it was cool. Now I'm like, bro, that's so performative. For me, from my masculine perspective as a man, that's performative as fuck. My thing is this. It is great to do meditation retreats. It's great to like go and do therapy and shit once you fucking made it. But right now you have to use the raw edge that you have to get everything that it is that you want in this life. Then you can reject it and you can say, well, I did all of this. Doesn't necessarily fulfill me. I need more. Great. Now you move into something else. Like the whole like meditation, spirituality, like deep spirit. Because I think spirituality is important along the journey, right? Because especially I'm talking to men who have, let's say, gotten jacked to a certain extent. They have been making a decent amount of money, pretty good money, right? They're in a good position. And maybe they're not bad with attraction. They're not, none of that. But they still feel hollow and empty. There's a reason for that. Because you're not living your life story that you've created. You're living somebody else's life story that they've made for you. And those narrators are constantly telling you what to do subconsciously and you don't even realize it. Which is why I say manifestation is bullshit for men because, again, we are alchemists. We create shit. We make shit happen. We don't look and then see gold just pop up. No, you're a fucking blacksmith. You go, you find a hammer. You look at the stone and you're like, fuck it. Okay, I think this is what I want it to be like. You have the blueprint. Great. Now let me start ironing this out. Let me start actually hitting this to match the blueprint so that I can get the desired result of gold. Let me mix some chemicals together to make this transmute into gold. You realize I'm still doing shit to get the gold. I'm not sitting there and imagining. And now, if I'm a woman, I can sit there and imagine gold because I can sit there and look sexy as fuck and have somebody with gold come in and I can put a poster and say, need gold. And I guarantee you some guy with gold is going to put it there because they want to fuck him. Of course. I know this sounds a little harsh, but it's true. Let women deal with the whole manifestation stuff. Let women deal with that type of shit. Let women deal with the affirmations and shit like that. You as a man, the equivalent of female manifestation for men is mental transmutation. It's changing what the fuck is here to force you to put in the work that you need to do, to get you to actually have some motion in life. Because this is the only thing that's blocking you. That's it. There's no divine force that's going to come in and just completely like interrupt your life and give you everything that you want. I don't care if you're religious, bro. And that's actually bad. I think religion has become the equivalent of pseudo-spirituality, of all this shit of manifestation and lighting candles and shit like that. I think religion has definitely been in parallel with that. Because I've seen people in church, bro. They're sitting there and they're praying to God, saying, God, I need money. I need money. I'll give you guys a good story since we're pretty much at the end. I'll never forget, I was at home and I believe this shit too. My mom, I think she needed like $1,000 or something like that for like some payment that was coming up. And she just earnestly prayed every single day. And all of a sudden, one day she was like, oh, Martel, God sent me $1,000. My dumb ass believed that shit. I'm like, man, this praying stuff is real. By the way, prayer is great. Prayer is great to give thanks and to show gratitude. It's great. But that's not what's going to get you what it is that you want. Going back to the story. My mom does this, right? I then, over time, see a pattern with her where she doesn't check her bank account every day. She doesn't necessarily track her spending. So if you somehow spent a lot less than you expected and you genuinely don't look at anything, let's say you had $500 in your bank account and you made some money from your job and you thought that you spent $400 and you didn't, you probably spent like $100. And now you made a paycheck, you got some paychecks here and there, and you paid some bills and stuff, and then you finally check your bank account, and it shows $1,500. God didn't just magically drop $1,000 in your bank account. You worked for it, but you didn't know what was going on. That was my mom. She didn't know. So she's thinking it's supernatural. I'm like, Mom, it's math. It's literally math. Now I'm thinking that. At the time, I was a gullible little kid. I'm like, Mom, God just spawned $1,000 in our bank account. We need to pray every day, all day. But that's a modern day Christian, right? Modern day Christian thinks God's going to come save them. They're waiting for Jesus to come back. Jesus comes back, great. If that happens. If that doesn't happen, it's fine, it's great. Still achieving, still going harder, still putting in the work. I'm not waiting on anybody to come save me. Do I pray to God? Yes. Do I believe in God? No, I know God. I know God because I've went through some things in life that have confirmed to me that God, in whatever way the existence is true. Personally. I'm not imposing my own beliefs on you or my own understanding on you. You don't have to believe in God. Fuck it. But I do. And I also understand the nature of God. From personal experience, from being broke as fuck. To the point where I'm praying every day and nothing's working. Nothing. And a voice in myself, which I understand is my internal voice, which people say comes from God. I don't know where it comes from. But there's a voice that says, get up and get the fuck to work. What are you doing laying there asking for shit? You don't ask, you go get it. What do you need permission for? You need permission to go put in some work and make some money? You think God, you believe in God? Great. God gave you a breath to breathe, gave you a body, gave you a mind that's more powerful than a fucking computer. than any computer known to man, more powerful than AI. Yes, your brain is more powerful than AI. There's shit that my brain comes up with that AI is like, what the fuck? How? Breaks all of the algorithmic patterns. And same for you. You could do the same thing, by the way, if you trust your intuition a lot more. But that's what the fuck is gonna get me the results, is doing the work. It's having the vision, 1. 2, doing the work to be able to get there. And 3, thanking God for giving me the ability to even get up in the morning to do it, to have a breath in the morning to do it. Because that's all I need, is the breath in the morning. That first breath that wakes me up. That is all I need from God. That's all I need. That's it. But there's a lot of modern day Christians that want to pray as a fucking transactional approach. God, if you just give me X, Y, and Z, if you give me this house, if you give me this amount of money, like, I will praise you for the rest of my life. God doesn't give a fuck about that. I think God cares about whether or not you decide whether you want to praise him or not. God doesn't care. This is going to piss a lot of Christians off. God doesn't care, G. You know what God cares and is proud about? Somebody who takes all of these abundant resources that they've been born with, that they appreciate, that they were 1 in a trillion cells in a body that made it through, 1 in a trillion, more than a trillion sperm cells that got through and made it in this world, and finally used that to get everything that it is that he wanted. That is somebody who's honorable to God. If you're into faith and you're into spiritual, whatever, like you believe in God, I'm talking in that framework. You don't have to consider that framework if that's not you. But that's the truth. But a lot of you guys really think that meditating all day, if you're pseudo-spiritual, or affirmations, or lighting up a fucking candle and thinking all day is going to get you where you need to go. No, you're going to be broke as fuck, and you're still going to be pushing this whole meditation and manifestation shit. And then you're going to just give up and go to Tibet and try to be a monk because you're giving up on life. And the smart people, Jay Shetty, will monetize the fuck out of that. They will fail at life and go and be a monk and come back and write a book about it and make millions and catapult their career. No shame to him. Fair play. Much respect to him. But I'm just telling you the fucking truth. Go get what it is that you want. Go get it. You can create amazing things in this world. You can create an amazing life for yourself if you simply put in the fucking work. Figure out what it is that you truly want. Analyze your life. Analyze the story of your life up until this point. Rewrite that story for up until you die. Live that story out day in and day out. Monitor your thoughts. Fight your thoughts. Change your thoughts. Rewire your brain. Put in the work towards the goals that it is that you want. And there is not a chance on planet Earth that you do not achieve it. You want to make more money? Fine. Every business model works. You want to do e-commerce, drop shipping, do that shit. You want to trade, trade. You want to do coaching, coach. You want to go do a trade, go learn a trade. All of it requires work. All of it requires effort. All of it requires consistency. You cannot run away. You are not a woman. You cannot run away from your fucking problems and have somebody else take care of them for you. You take care of your own problems because you're a man. That's what the fuck it takes. I didn't come here to Romania and have a house now and have this life that I have now because I just sat there and manifested. I put in the fucking work. I made the money to come down here and afford what it is that I have. And it's little old me. Imagine what you could do. You could do better than me. What the fuck? That's what I'm saying. I'm not sitting here talking from a high horse or talking from somewhere way up high. I'm talking to you, man to man, eye to eye level contact to you and saying you can do fucking better. I would love for you to do better. Because I have no ego in this shit. I have internal ego for myself. That's what drives me. But externally, I have no ego. I don't care if somebody's doing better or visibly doing better than me. Congratulations. I know guys who they'll post on social media like, bro, I did this and that. I'm better than you. You can't do this because I'm better than you. And I did this. And it's like, bro, good for you. They're not saying it to me, by the way. I'm just saying like they're just posting it publicly because they're trying to trigger people. And the ones that understand, it's like, bro, everybody runs their own race. You're running your own race. The reason why a lot of men fall into this feminine manifestation bullshit is because they want to switch lanes. They want the easy way. They want the fast lane. And then they go try the fast lane and that shit gets slow. There's traffic. And then they look at their previous lane and that shit's going faster than the lane that they switched to. And they wonder why shit doesn't work. They wonder why they keep going right back to where they were. Because your mind is fucked. You're letting other people peddle influence at you that is not genuinely going to help you. It just sounds great. Yeah, you sit there and you write in a journal and you think all day. Let's be logical here. What do you think that's going to get you? Because I did this, by the way. I did the whole 369 Nikola Tesla journal where you write down your goals 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the evening, 9 times at night. What the fuck did that do? I think the most powerful thing that I've ever done outside of actually putting in the work was writing my life story of what exactly I wanted. Like, I wasn't clear on where I wanted to move to, but I did say that I wanted to move out of the United States. And that's what the fuck happened. I'm in the middle of my story right now, and everything that I've said that was gonna happen, happened. Everything. And sometimes it happens a lot earlier than when I even predicted it. Because every day, every second is raw action. Yes, there are rest times. I take breaks, fellas. I chill out sometimes. You can chill out. But the reality is, you must always move forward. You take a couple steps forward, you can chill for a little bit. Boom, then get back in. A couple steps more forward, that's gonna keep you from burning out. I do believe in burnout. I think that shit's real. I don't think anybody who's peddling that grind set bunch of bullshit, I don't think they're the perfect fucking lined up schedules all day, every single day. No. Maybe in the beginning, but they don't keep that shit up, bro. That shit'll kill you. You gotta chill, you gotta relax, you gotta enjoy yourself to a certain extent. But you always gotta be focused on the mission regardless. That rest, that relaxation, maybe going out, that can give you a new perspective. You can meet a person, and that can radically accelerate you. You take everything and you apply it to the mission. Okay, I'm going out right now. Well, shit, maybe I meet somebody who can help me. Maybe I can find a new perspective. Maybe I see something that happens and that gives me a new perspective on my life that accelerates my growth and what it is that I want to do. Everything can be alchemized into your mission if you simply have it in the first place. All right. So again, I hope this was valuable for you guys. I'm just tired of seeing all of the fucking manifestation gurus out there pushing shit. And there are low IQ people who genuinely think that they got to the position that they're in from what it is that they're teaching. Maybe that was part of it. But the reality is they monetized the living fuck out of it. That's why it worked so well for them. So you have to figure out, because you don't want to be them, you want to be you. You can use what they're telling you, but apply it to something else and put in the action to get what it is that you want. And no matter what things that you do, what protocols you go through, everything has to then lead to an action that moves you forward. You take a cold shower, you better jump on your computer and start putting in the work if it is an online business that you're trying to build. If you just take a fucking cold shower and feel like you did something in life, you are a loser, my friend. Just telling you. Everything has to be applied. Applied knowledge. You read a book, you better apply that shit in some form, shape, or form in your life. I read books. I don't race to read 100 books a year. No, I can read 2 books a year and apply every concept and radically change the course of my fucking life. Because everything that you get in life comes from action. I'm not speed reading. I'm reading for clarity. I'm reading for knowledge to apply it in my life daily. I happen to have a long book list. Again, if you need a book list, go through each book, apply them. Link will be in the description. I pinned it in my free Telegram group. It's the Gold Pill Society. And those books are literally what I've read my whole life. It's given me the perspectives that I have now. There's some fiction in there, non-fiction, etc. But anyway, I speak too much. Hope this was valuable for you. Don't plan on having this be like something that gets a fuck ton of views. Just kind of wanted to take a break from view farming because I think I have enough people right now. I need to nurture you guys. I need to actually get you guys in gear. Teach some deeper concepts and shit like that for now. Then I'll get right back to the view farming. It's a game, man. YouTube is a fucking game. But all my courses that I have, yes, I do sell courses because why the fuck not? I don't have time to be working with hundreds of people. I can only work with like maybe 10 people at a time. Might as well give you guys what I know in digestible form. And a lot of you guys couldn't afford the mentorships that I would have. There are a good amount of you guys that can, which I appreciate. And I've worked with a decent amount of you guys, but I sell some things that are cheaper for people who just want a different perspective and want a change in their life without spending a couple grand. To work with me one-on-one, which that can accelerate shit, but that's cool too. If one-on-one is something you really want, you can DM me. I have a whole new rollout that's coming out, so I don't like to push the one-on-one thing too much. I've been bringing on some guys here and there privately, which is cool. These are guys that are dope. And for me, one-on-one, I gotta like you and I gotta like enjoy where I have to want to be around you in a fucking elevator, bro. If the elevator was trapped and stuck, I could talk to you for a couple hours. Yes, I will work with you one-on-one. But there's some guys, man, I'm like, fuck, I couldn't even talk to you in an elevator if we were trapped in here. How the fuck does that look like when we get on one-on-one calls or when you hit me up on WhatsApp and you're nagging and you're complaining and you're so negative? Like, can't do that, bro. Just being real with y'all. Gotta be real. If that offends you, that's because that's you. If it doesn't offend you, it's because, well, you understand. You get what I'm saying. But I hope that was valuable for you. Again, links will be in the description. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.